कथां मुहुः श्रीशुक उवाच साधुपृष्टं महाभाग तया भागवतोत्तम यन्नुतनशिष्यस्य श्रवणम् अपि कथां मुहुः. Synonyms. Sri Sukovacha, Sukadev Goswami said, Sadhu Prishtam, I have been very much honored by your inquiry. Mahabhaga, you are a greatly fortunate personality. Tvaya, by you. Bhagavata Uttama, O best of devotees. Yat, because. Nutanasya, you are making newer and newer. Isasya, of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Shravanam api, although you are continuously hearing. Katham, the pastime. Muhu, again and again. Translation. Srila Sukadev Goswami said, O best of devotees, most fortunate Parikshit, you have inquired very nicely, for although constantly hearing the pastime of the Lord, you are perceiving his activities to be newer and newer. We'll also read the subsequent texts, which will be very interesting for the context of today's discussion. Text 2. Paramahamsas, devotees who have accepted the essence of life, are attached to Krishna in the core of their hearts, and he is the aim of their lives. It is their nature to talk only of Krishna at every moment. As if such topics were newer and newer, they are attached to such topics, just as materialists are attached to topics of women and sex. Text 3. O King, kindly hear me with great attention. Although the activities of the Supreme Lord are very confidential, no ordinary man being able to understand them, I shall speak about them to you. For spiritual masters explain to a submissive disciple even subject matters that are very confidential and difficult to understand. Text 4 of 10.13. Then, after saving the boys and calves from the mouth of Aghasur, who was death personified, Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, brought them all to the bank of the river and spoke the following words. My dear friends, just see how this river bank is extremely beautiful because of its pleasing atmosphere, and just see how the blooming lotuses are attracting bees and birds by their aroma. The humming and chirping of the bees and birds is echoing throughout the beautiful trees in the forest. Also, here the sands are clean and soft. Therefore, this must be considered to be the best place for our sporting and pastimes. I think we should, text 6, I think we should take our lunch here since we are already hungry because the time is very late. Here the calves may drink water and go slowly here and there and eat the grass. Text number 10, skipping little text for sake of time. All the cowherd boys enjoyed their lunch with Krishna, showing one another the different taste of the different varieties of preparation they had brought from home. Tasting one another's preparation, they began to laugh and make one laugh. Text 58. Lord Brahma's external consciousness then revived, and he stood up just like a dead man coming back to life. Opening his eyes with great difficulty, he saw the universe along with himself. Text 62, skipping some texts. After seeing this, Lord Brahma hastily got down from his one carrier, fell down like a golden rod, and touched the lotus feet of Lord Krishna with the tips of 4 crowns on his jewel, offering his obeisances. He bathed the feet of Krishna with the water of his tears of joy, rising again and again rising and falling again and again at the lotus feet of Krishna for a long time. Lord Brahma remembered over and over the Lord's greatness he has just seen. Then rising, text 64, then rising very gradually and wiping his 2 eyes, Lord Brahma looked up at Mukunda. Lord Brahma, his head bent low, his mind concentrated, and his body trembling, very humbly began with faltering words to offer praise of Lord Krishna. ॐ अज्ञानातिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुर्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुवैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखावितंश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिकाकांत राधाकांत नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावन श्री विश्वानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छकल्पतरुश्च कृपा सिन्धुवैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमो जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवास आदि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे लीलाचल निवासाय नित्याय परमात्मने बलभद्र सुभद्राभ्यां जगन्नाथाय ते नमः. So thank you so much for joining this wonderful Sangha. This is such a beautiful chapter. More and more we talk about it, it is going to increase our sense of Krishna consciousness. As Sukadev Goswami is starting to glorify the devotees right from the beginning. He's referring to the group of devotees who are hearing him, including Maharaj Parikshit, about how the taste for hearing new things from Sukadev Goswami hasn't dwindled. Sukadev Goswami, as you know, is about to die after some time. At the time of death, he doesn't want to go here. He doesn't want to eat this. He wants to focus on hearing the Supreme Personality of Godhead's message. And that's where Sukadev Goswami is explaining. And in this chapter beginning, he's explaining how the sadhus are always enthusiastic to hear about the glories of the Lord. Bhagavata Uttama. That means, as devotees, you are so bright, you are so greatest of the devotees that you want to always hear about the nectarian pastimes. And that's where Srila Prabhupada is summarizing in the beginning, where he is mentioning that although the incident concerning Aghasur has been performed 1 year before, when the cowherd boys were 5 year old, when they were 6 year when they were 6 year old, they said it happened today. What happened was this: after killing Aghasur, Krishna, along with his associates, the cowherd boys, went for picnic within the forest. The calves, been allured by green grasses, gradually went far and away. Therefore, Krishna's associate became little agitated and went back to bring back the calves. Krishna, however, encouraged the boys by saying, "You take your tiffin without being agitated. I shall go to find the calves." And thus the Lord departed. Then, just to examine the potency of the Krishna, the Brahma took away the calves and boys. So you see, in this paragraph, Srila Prabhupada has spoken about Krishna, who is multidimensional, and one dimension is time. Here, Krishna is saying so beautiful, Prabhupada is summarizing that Krishna killed Aghasur. Then, within this one day, within this, and 1 year has passed, and in this 1 year, this entire Brahma Vimohan Leela has happened. But when, fast forward, when the Gopas comes back into this, back from the Leela, into the manifold, they're saying what? It happened today. You see, that means one day of Brahma is equivalent to a year in the Leela, wherein all these things have happened within a year. But actually, as the Gopas went to sleep, we'll get into the pastime. So here, as you can see, Krishna is the dimension of time. He says, "Main samay hu." That means he is time. And here, the Gopas who were stolen by Brahmaji, they think it happened today. But actually, a year has passed. And we'll talk about that year as we enter into this pastime. So, what happened once upon a time in this month of Kartik, as Krishna graduated from taking the calves, from taking the calves to taking the cows on the day of Gopastami, which was yesterday. So he goes out with his friends. He goes out, as you can see in the leftmost picture, he goes out with a lot of love. And there he's eating. This is the picture which is in the ceiling of our community hall, the leftmost picture. So there he is eating from the plate of another kid, and it is mentioned that the kid is eating from his preparation, but and he is Krishna get attracted by the bhoga or the item, the food item, which the friend who may be insignificant in the minds of many people, but for Krishna, he is enamored by that little morsel, and he is eating from the friend's plate. So when Krishna is eating jhuta from his friends, Brahmaji is looking, he is thinking, this person, people say, he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. How come he is playing with these little boys? And in this Subala, who is supposed to be the more powerful of the kids, Gopas, sometimes can defeat Krishna in wrestling. And Brahmaji is seeing all these things unfolding in his eyes, as you can see in this picture on the left. He's seeing, he's taking Juta, he's getting defeated, and he's just sitting in a village with not a lot of opulence. How can he be the Supreme Personality of Godhead? So that question in Brahma's mind is triggering a lot of thoughts. And then Brahmaji decides that let me test this personality. If he is the true Supreme Personality of Godhead, let's play some tricks with the Supreme. So what he does, he had this Kamandalu, right? So he takes all the cows and the Gopas, ex- except Krishna and Balaram. He takes everybody in this picture on the left, you see, into the Kamandalu of Brahmaji. He takes everybody. He hides them. He steals them. And when Krishna, at the time, when Krishna had gone to a nearby place, maybe to the banks of the river, different Kathakars will say in a very beautiful way the Leelas of Krishna for hours and hours and hours. Some of our great ISKCON Acharyas speak about this Leela for hours and hours, and devotees will be hearing for hours and hours. Because more and more we hear, there is so much of rasa, there is so much of mellows that only a devotee can understand, others won't. So, so when Krishna comes back, this trick of Brahmaji trying to hide everyone into the Kamandalu has happened. So Krishna detected it. Krishna recognized, how come I just, killed Agashur, the demons are getting reduced. How come this is happening? So then he realized that this is the work of Brahmaji. This is the handiwork of Brahmaji, and he is creating problem. So Krishna, in terms of smartness, is 100 times ahead of Brahmaji. So what he does is he expands into multiple gopas, into multiple cows and calves, as if nothing has happened. And then he comes back from the forest. So, as you can see, all these people you see on this left picture on that day transformed themselves by virtue of Krishna's expansion from individual souls to Krishnas. They all are Krishnas. So you can see in the middle picture that when Krishna is coming back to the home, this Gopa's son, he is getting a lot of love. The calves who are Krishna coming back, the cows are giving more milk. So much of love you see in the middle picture. Where? Why? Because they are none other than expansions of Krishna. So when Krishna comes back with his own expansion, countering the trick of Brahmaji, they are getting love like anything. The cows are just kissing, licking the calves. The go the senior gopas, as you can see in this middle picture, they're loving like anything. When all these things are happening, Balram, who is the first expansion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, recognized that something is wrong here. Then he found out Balram is actually no difference from Krishna, except our acharyas say the color of the skin is different, except that they are one and the same. That's why our Baladev and Lord Jagannath, who are none other than Krishna and Balram, are very merciful, like Shyam Sundar, like Gaur Nitai. So Balram knew that this is happening, and he knew that Krishna is countering the trick of Brahmaji. So he wanted to be part of this Leela. He didn't really question Krishna, why did you? And this was happening. This happened for a year. This happened for 365 days. And Brahmaji is recognizing his every hour is multiplied into multiple days, and he's seeing how come this is happening? How come this? I have hidden them from in my Kamandalu, and let me go and check. I am seeing something else here. Then he sees in the Kamandalu that they are asleep. All those who he stole, they are asleep in the Kamandalu. Then Brahmaji feel very ashamed of the behavior of himself. He realized that this person who I was thinking as if this little insignificant kid who is basically eating jhuta and getting beaten by another wrestler boy like Subala, he just can't be the supreme, is so grossly wrong. He could manifest time. He could expand into cows and calves and boys. He can recreate everything in front of him. He felt so much ashamed, as you heard in the final texts. Brahmaji on the right picture comes and bows down in front of Krishnaji, and he begged for forgiveness, and he kept his head bowed down again and again and again as Srila Prabhupada is translating the beautiful texts. And then he released all the cows and calves and the gopas back, and they all became immersed into the expansions of Krishna, and Krishna forgive. So, so as you can see, Krishna's potencies are inconceivable. Krishna could appear as a cloth when Mother Draupadi was getting humiliated in the assembly of Kurus. Krishna can expand himself as a mountain. Krishna can expand himself as thousands of gopas and cows. Because in Krishna's relationship These are expansions. When Kshirodakshaya Vishnu, even Karnadakshaya Vishnu, was laying in the causal ocean, from the expansions and contraction, universes were getting created. And then Krishna, as a subsequent expansion as Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, enters into each of this universe. And when he is laying in the Garbhodaka ocean, from the navel of Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, Brahmaji comes from a lotus stem from the navel of Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. The same Brahmaji with the interference of illusory energy of the Lord gets bewildered. So if Brahmaji, who has come, who is actually the chief technology officer, if Garbhodakshaya Vishnu is the chief executive officer who has instructed Brahmaji to create as an architect, but under the instructions of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, can get bewildered by the illusory energy of the Lord. We can in this world with limited intelligence, with limited surrender, with an ability to, with a constant urge to argue all the time, our lack of surrender, we are bound to get illusioned. So, when Sukadev Goswami is explaining this beautiful pastime of the Lord, it is mentioned that Brahmaji can get bewildered, and as part and parcel of Krishna, we can. So, getting bewildered is not the issue. It's our ability to recognize the Supreme Personality of God and hear His glories, so that constantly we become conscious of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Is so anytime we end up doing something, as long as we're conscious of, we are Krishna conscious. In Battle of Kurukshetra, Krishna mentions to Arjuna that go fight, do your duty as a Kshatriya, but don't forget me. Be conscious of me. Anything we end up doing, as long as we're conscious, and for some time, as you heard in this beautiful sloka and verses and the discussion, that Brahmaji, for a moment, was not conscious of Krishna. He felt he is a little boy and he was covered with the illusory energy of the Lord. And the same thing can happen to any of us. Krishnaji's love for the cow is also glorified in these chapters. When Lord Krishna came back one day and he saw, when Mother Yashoda saw bruises in the leg of Krishna, Lord Krishna complained to Mother Yashoda uh, that Mother Yashoda, Mama, you don't worry, I'm fine. But Mother Yashoda complained that, hey, you are going empty feet, and when you go empty feet, you get bleed in your feet, and I cannot see you having bruises on your leg. So I'm going to make slippers for you. Krishna heard Mother Yashoda and said, Mother, can you make 3.6 million slippers? Why is that? Krishna says, Mother, the cows and calves are very dear to me. There are 900,000 cows. My Baba has, Nanda Baba has 900,000 best cows. And if you make 4 slippers for each, it's going to be millions. And this interaction between Mother Yashoda and Kanha was heard by the cows. And they were crying because how come a kid of this magnitude could have so much of love for the cow that he could go to any extent in requesting for slippers for all the cows. And that's why cows used to love Krishna equally well. And that's the reason why whenever love is defined, love is always compared with Bashilya Prem. A child, a love from a mother and father to a child is compared with Bashilya Prem. This Bashilya has come from Bashya. Bashya is nothing but the calves. The calves are so dear that the mother of the calves used to lick with her tongue so that the love is exchanged. So, whenever there is an element of paternal love, it is compared with the love cows have for their calves. And this chapter glorifies cow protection. This chapter glorifies cow protection in the sense that why cow is our mother. The first milk we drink after we are born is from the cows. But it is very sad to hear that cows are mistreated, not only here, but in India for very strange reasons. And Krishna and his pastime of Brahma Vino Mohan Lila, the Yashoda Damodar pastime, is all about glorifying cows, glorifying cow products, and how Brahma Vimohan Lila, in terms of getting illusioned and not being conscious of the Supreme, and how protection of cows is paramount for Krishna consciousness and sustainability. Nowadays, there is big things about sustainability. If we want to be sustainable in our ability to further our activities, our Krishna conscious activities, we have to be sustainable in our love for cows. But it's very sad to hear cows are being mistreated. They are given hormones so that they can grow big, so that the output of flesh can be significant. And because the calves drink a lot of milk from the cows, how they are cruelly kept separate, and how cows' activities or cows' produce has become a part of animal farming in the modern world, which is very sad to hear. So I can go on and on with this discussion, but I would like to hear your views primarily on two aspects we discussed today. How to stay conscious. If Brahma can get illusioned, how we can stay conscious. But more importantly, I would like to uh, hear or rather reflect or get your reflections on cow protection and how cow protection has to be a paramount opportunity for all of us in furthering Krishna consciousness. So, wherever Srila Prabhupada has created a farming community, he has always emphasized the importance of cow protection, whether it is whether it is New Vrindavan or Vrindavan or Mayapur or Goshalas in Jagannath Puri or in any other place where the cow protection is of significant importance for Krishna consciousness. So, just to summarize a couple of things before I end, before we open up for more discussion, is how to stay conscious in spite of being very knowledgeable, never ever doubt, that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. There are so many references. Bhagavad Gita is a classic example where whenever Krishna speaks, it's not Krishna Uvacha, rather it's Bhagavan Uvacha. That means he's the Supreme Personality of Godhead speaking. And how to feel anytime we end up doing anything, whether it is chanting the holy name, when chanting of the holy name appears to be a very simple process, but a time will come when our senses will give up, we become, uh, we grow, and even chanting will become a luxury. So, when we have the ability to chant, when we have the consciousness to chant, make the most of it so that when the time comes, when the critical aspect, a time when our physical ailments take over, at the time when we cannot chant or cannot perform devotional service, then you realize that this devotional service we have at this point in time, or the devotional service of chanting the holy name, is actually a luxury. So let's not waste any time and stay conscious that so that once we hear Krishna, says we hear about Krishna or engage in Krishna consciousness activities, we we feel a sense of gratitude that we are able to do this because a time will come when we will not be able to do anything, any Krishna consciousness activities. Forget about doing, we will not be able to chant because time is short. And if Brahmaji can become illusioned, we can easily become illusioned. For us, there is so much of distraction to be illusioned about, and we will be so. If we have come to this community, if we have come to this community where nobody is asking for anything, but rather suggesting that we chant, we indulge in devotional service, we should have a sense of gratitude that this devotional service we are ending up doing is actually a privilege, is actually a luxury. A time will come we will not be able to do it. At that time, you would realize I missed that opportunity to devotional service in connection with this wonderful pastime which we discussed today, and how, and that is staying in Krishna consciousness. And the second thing is how cow protection becomes a part and parcel of our life in our ability to have an element of empathy for cows. And also, this beautiful pastime also speaks about how to stay humble all the time. So, humility, cow protection, and how to stay Krishna conscious and think that Krishna consciousness is a privilege. It's it's something we cannot give up, and we cannot. A time will come. I have seen some very close family members having difficulty when they get into stroke or something. It's very difficult. People go through forgetfulness in the, so it should be considered that we have got this time, we have got a chance to bat, make the most of it, hit some quick runs or and make the most of it like that. We have got this opportunity to stay Krishna consciousness, be Krishna conscious. So let's make the most of it. We may not get this opportunity. How to feel a sense of gratitude all the time and always uh, in the confines of our mind, stay focused. And these are the pastimes which give us the catalyst to empower ourselves to stay focused, stay Krishna conscious, stay humble, foster cow protection. And so, with that, like to end here. Thank you so much for your kind attention. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaur Premanande. Hari Hari Bol. So, any question, comments, reflections you would like to add, please unmute and open your hearts as we discuss this very powerful pastime in the auspicious month of Kartik. Any comments from anyone? This is a very informal community. Yes,
Hare
Bridge
Krishna,
Prabhu.
Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu. I was actually going to ask you that. I think it's so becoming so difficult about cows and milk and everything. Like, you don't even know how the milk you get, how the cows are being treated, and it feels like there's almost nothing you can do about it in this country. So if there is things that people are doing, devotees are doing, which are helping, taking things in the right direction, I would like to know what those are.
Hmm. Awesome, awesome. So, Bridge Prabhu, as you know, we ask you, where does milk come from? You say milk comes from cows. But you ask a kid over here, where does milk come from? He or she will say it comes from fridge. He or she doesn't know that there is a cow involved in this, and that was supposed to be a little joke. But having said that, what has happened is the processing of milk, our ability to take away the toxins from milk, which sometimes people call it pasteurization, some people call it. There is good reasons to do that, but we have overdone it. As Parijat Mataji from Gitanagari would say, that after processing milk again and again and again, you don't know whether the white liquid you get is truly milk or not. It has gone through so much of aberrations over a period of time. The nutrition, and you get it after months of processing, whether the nutrition is even there. So, in order to really help the community, we have the first creamery in the United States, which is the Gita Nagari Eco Farm, from where we get milk every Sunday into our temple as a community. I think it's $9.30 for half a gallon, I think. So that milk is actually not white in color, it's yellow in color. And that is because they go through the manual process of doing it, and the cruel free milk, because the cows who are giving milk from Gitanagari, they do not have the fear that one day they will be sent to slaughterhouses. So because the fear is not there, they give the best. So the first cruel free creamery in United States, based on my knowledge, is Gita Nagari, Port Royal, Pennsylvania, which is actually ISKCON community. So that we can support in whatever way, by getting milk or contributing there, being part of the hay barn picnics they do, and encouraging them. And also in in many other places, there are bona fide ISKCON uh, cow protection centers opened by ISKCON temples, is opened by ISKCON Goshalas, opened by ISKCON devotees, which are there. And more, we spread the word that we have to shun cruelty to animals, and cow included. We arouse that sense of belonging, because earlier that was not there. Now we have this community social networks and all that. So if we can help, first to answer your question, help Gita Nagari Eco Farm and many other bona fide goshalas. Tribal Indian tribal care is very high in cow protection as well. They have cow protection programs. And uh, cow, if you see, is directly and indirectly is actually our mother. The first iota of nutrition we get is milk. So there might be this new science of lactose intolerant, this that, but actually cow milk is the purest form of expression of love from the community which Krishna has built. So I don't know if I answered your question,
No,
but
you
that
did,
is
Prabhuji. Yes, yes, and you're absolutely right. I remember in Gita Nagari, the that milk was it's the first time I probably tasted real milk. Like it was a completely different taste than the milk that we have here, and it was so rich that you feel like having more and more. Like it was just delicious. So I agree that there's something, very a lot of processing and cruelty and all these things that happen, that the quality of milk just doesn't turn out as it should. I was also under the impression, Prabhu, that I think the last time my family was trying that, I thought there was some not maybe shortage is the wrong word, but a lot of demand, and as a result, I think getting your hands on milk, from Gitanagari, like as much as you may need for a 5 people family, may not always be, possible, is what I felt at the time. But yeah, that was one of the concerns when I was trying to get that milk like a while ago.
Yeah. So Prabhuji, Bridge Prabhu, I have noted down your name. I'll connect you with our milk coordinator, Srinivas Prabhu, and there is Aghari Prabhu uh, from Gitanagari, who is also in our temple WhatsApp group for Gitanagari, who is actually in Gitanagari. So if you want to register, you can directly connect with Aghari Krishna Prabhu from Gitanagari, and based on the openings, he may allow you. I think they're open. Sometimes they close registration, but I have a feeling they're open now. But one thing you have to do is once in a year, on an average, you have to go and get the milk on behalf of the temple. That's the only commitment, and also you pay by auto payment in PayPal. Those are the two requirements. So if I can get your details elsewhere separately, we can connect. And if possible, I'll ask Srinivas Prabhu to connect with you so that he can give you more details, or share Agari Krishna Prabhu's details so that he is in Gitanagari and you can register and get your milk through our temple every Sunday evening. Okay.
Yeah, sounds
Thank
good,
you.
Prabhu. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, sir. Hare Krishna. Any other comments, reflections about this subject matter, about how we all should foster cow protection, how stay Krishna conscious every time, and that is a protection we get, and we don't get controlled by the fear and illusion or the dark side of life, which is and because of that people take to drugs and whatnot. So any other comments, reflections about today's subject matter? So if there are no question or comments or reflections, so I would request Simheswar Prabhu to take it away for the
Yes.
next
Yeah.
segment of the program.
Sure. Thank you so much, Gibruji. A nice class. So let's go through our Vrindavan Parikrama. Today, let me share the screen. Uh, it's here. So yesterday we were going to Badrinath, Kedarnath. Now today we can have Kokilavan to Sheshasai. I'm going to share.
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So today we are going to leave from Kokilavan and head off to Sheshashahi. Let me tell you, this is going to be a long walk. So please gear up with sufficient water in your bottles. Pick up your bags. Don't forget to grab the ginger tea. It's getting cold. They're serving some nice ginger tea there. So take your cups, fill them up, drink, and let's move, right? On the way, we have some wonderful darshan. We'll be going to Charan Pahadi, we'll be going to Kotawan, Choti Betan, Badi Betan, and finally we would get to Sheshashahi, where we have some wonderful darshan of Sheshashahi, and also there's a beautiful Kshir Sagar besides the temple. That's where we're going to reside for tonight. There's some wonderful nectarian Harikatha on the way, so do not miss out on that. See you soon. Hare Krishna.
We will begin Kokilavan. Our first stop is Bari Baitan, Choti Baitan, Charan Pari, cross over Kotvana, and our destination is Sheshashahi. We leave Kokilavan promptly at 6 a.m. As the weeks are passing, the sun is rising later and later, a reminder that winter is fast approaching. Our Parikrama party travels through the agricultural lands of northern Braj. After walking northeast for about 2 kilometers, we passed 2 villages, Badi, big Baitan, and Choti, small Baitan. The Bhakti Ratnakara seems to indicate that they were originally one village named Baitana, derived from Baitak, or sitting place. Nanda Maharaj and the other cowherd men would sit here to hold important discussions. Over time, Baitana must have evolved into Batang. One evening, as Mother Yashoda was speaking affectionately with Krishna, Krishna said,
"Do you know, Maya, what Balaram did today?" "No, I don't know. Please tell me, Lala. What did your elder brother do?" Krishna then said rather nonchalantly, referring to Dhenukasur, "Oh, well, he killed a donkey." Mother Yashoda was expecting something big, but the tone with which Krishna delivered this news made it seem like Balrama's fate was no big deal at all. Balrama, who was present in the room, became
along when we go out to herd the cows. He can go his way and I will go my own.
So the next day, Krishna and Balaram herded cows in the same forest. But they remained separate, and they had their lunch and pastimes in separate places. Since Balaram is the elder brother and Krishna the younger, the place where Balaram sat came to be known as Badi, big Baitana, and the place where Krishna sat came to be known as Choti, small Baitana. Sanatana Goswami would wander from town to town until he arrived at Baitana Gram. Seeing Sanatana Goswami, all the villagers felt so much joy, it cannot be described. Sanatana Goswami inquired about everyone's welfare, and thus joyfully passed the day and night. Everyone knew that Sanatana Goswami would stay in the place for only one night, so they spoke to him in distress. "If you remain here for a few days, it would be auspicious for everyone." Therefore, please accept our plea and don't be cruel to us. Please give up your habit of leaving in the early morning and save our lives. Speaking in this way, the villagers cried. Just to please everyone, Sanatana Goswami agreed to stay. Thus the people of Baitana and the surrounding villages were always absorbed in his wonderful qualities. Engrossed in thoughts of Sanatana Goswami, we leave Choti Baitan and walk another kilometer to Charanapati, where we see footprints of Krishna, his cows, and other animals melted into the rocks. Once, while Krishna and the cowherd boys were watching the cows graze, he stood under a tree and began playing his flute. The Lord's transcendental body is so delicate and soft that when he lifts his flute to his lotus lips, the weight of the fortunate instrument causes his body to bend in 3 places. As he stood in this position, in this place, giving musical expression to his own delightful ecstasy, the cowherd boys, cows, deer, elephants, and other animals were entranced. As they, the rocks melted in ecstasy and captured everyone's footprints.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees, time for us to take a halt because, as promised, we have some more Harikatha today, and this time it is yet again our dear Vrindavan Baba, His Grace Dinabandhu Prabhu. Hari Hari Bol.
So just about 3 kilometers from Nandagam, when you're on the heading north on the Kosi Road, just off to the left side, you'll see a huge deity of Sanidev, Saturn. And that's the gate. You turn left there and you go to Kokilavan. Kokila is named after a bird. They just began their singing. Now that it's become hot, today it's only 45 degrees here in Braj. So we hear the kokila singing. Prabhupada Krishna book is cuckoo. The cuckoo is a different bird, but we don't have transcendental words in English for these different things. So, but this is kokila. And you'll hear them. Especially you may have heard them in Mayapur when you're there for the Mayapur festival, because Mayapur warms up before Vrindavan, so we don't hear them that early. But you hear them outside your door. But you will never see them. Very difficult to see. They're very shy. They hide in the bokul trees with very thick foliage where nobody can see them. But when you finally see one, you'll be very disappointed. In fact, the Hindi poets say, this Bhagwan, he has no taste. He has made this peacock with so beautiful feathers, but his voice is just a squawk. But this kokila is so sweet voice. But he's black as a crow. In fact, when you see one, he looks just like he's a little bit bigger than a, but just a little bit thinner tail and longer tail, looks just like a crow. In fact, the kokilas are very tricky. They go and lay their eggs in the crow's nest and they're finished. And the baby kokilas, they cry louder than the baby crows. So this poor mother crow and mother and Father Crow, they're busy trying to feed them. So this forest had many, many kokilas in it. And just happens to be just across the road from Javat, where Radharani lives with her so-called husband Abhimanyu and her sister-in-law Kutila and mother-in-law Jatila. So one day Krishna went there to Kokilavan and he was singing just like a kokila. They start off very low, then they go higher. So as soon as all the kokilas heard Krishna singing their song, they all began to sing in great ecstasy. They were singing very, very loudly and very joyously. That sound carried all the way over to Javat. And Radharani was there with all her friends, and they suddenly noticed that they can hear all the kokilavan. So they began to think about it. They said, only one reason why all these kokilas are singing so joyously today. Must be one special black kokila is there. So then Lalita Saki, they made a secret plan. And they went to Mother Jatila. And Mother Lalita was very, very sneaky. Because you know girls are very, very sneaky. Little girls. Especially when Mother told me, I'd much rather have boys. Boys are straightforward. You ask what's going on, they'll tell you. Just like you hear some noise in the garage. Hey, what's going on out there? Oh, we put the cat in the washing machine, Mom. It's far out. You should come see. But the girls, it's very quiet upstairs. You don't hear any sound. Oh, what are you doing up there, darling? Nothing, Mata. And she's got all her brand new silk saris and makeup and jewelry and gold and silver, everything. So very sneakily they went, oh, Mother Jatila, do you hear the kokila singing in Kokilavan? Oh, yes, Lali, I hear. Can we go there? Oh, yes, you young girls, you take Radharani and go there and listen to the kokilas. So they all ran to Kokilavan to meet Radharani. Meet Krishna. The Radharani went there to meet Krishna at Kokilavan. And it's a very natural place. It used to be more natural, now it's becoming built up. But there's a big lake there, and there's a 4-kilometer Prikrama path, brick Prikrama path, all around the lake. And you see so many different types of trees, so many different waterfowl. It's almost like the Bharatpur bird sanctuary. So many different types of birds you'll see there, painted storks and all types of things. Sometimes if you go early in the morning, you can sometimes on the Prikrama path see Nilgai, the so-called blue cows, which are actually some type of antelope. And you don't ever want to go there on a Saturday. Because there's a very famous, I told you on the road, there's this huge statue of Shani. Shani is Saturn. And we know Saturn is the guy, he's the planet who gives you all your karma. So everyone's always very much afraid of Saturn. As soon as the astrologer tells, oh, your Saturn is in bad place. So everybody goes there to worship Saturn on Saturday, because that's his day. And so at least 20,000-30,000 people would go there, so you don't ever want to go there. So now it's become a little when I first went there, it was a very natural place. Now they built so many little demigod shrines and so many things. It was a very natural, sweet place. So how Shanidev got there is an interesting story. Because it's just near Nandagam, so one time Nanda Maharaj, he was celebrating Krishna's birthday. So he made a big festival, and all the demigods and great sages, everybody was coming, Bhrigu Rishi and Brihaspati, and all the demigods were coming. And suddenly Nanda Maharaj saw Shanidev was coming. So he became very upset. He ran there and he stopped him and said, no, 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 please don't come. If you come, everyone will run away. He said, no, but you're cheating me of getting darshan of your Lala. I said, no, 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 if you come, everyone will run away. You go to the forest or something, but please don't come here. So Krishna, he's aware of everything. He understood what happened. Shanidev went to that forest, Kokilavan, and was very dejected. So Lala, he went to Mother Yasoda, said, Maya, last night I got a very bad nightmare. Oh Lala, what happened? Oh, Maya, I saw one boot, one ghost. Oh, Lala, what happened? He said he was going to eat me. Oh, why, Lala, why, Lala? He said, because your mother Yasoda didn't do his worship. He's staying there in Kokilavan. Oh, immediately Mother Yasoda, she grabbed Krishna under her arm. She grabbed all her, in her left arm, she grabbed Krishna. In her right hand, she took all the paraphernalia for puja. And she went there to Kokilavan. And she worshipped Sunny Dev. And Sunny Dev got his darshan of Krishna. And the way they worship Sunny Dev is with mustard oil. In fact, if you live in India for some time, you'll see every Saturday these little boys and just people running around with these little pails of black mustard oil and this little black deity, cut-out deity of Saturn, Sunny Dev inside their pail, all begging, because everybody's afraid of Saturn, so they're begging money like this. So many 10, 20, 30,000 people come. It's a small deity and it's a very small temple room. They've made it, expanded it a little bit. But they made this incredible arrangement. They have all these railings for people to come in like this. And then they have this trough over here and a trough over here overhead. And everybody from two sides, on this side they pour their mustard oil. On this side we have two more people from each side pouring into the trough. And then a pipe comes down and goes over Sunny Dev, and all that oil pours on Sunny Dev. I have no idea where it goes. Maybe they have a tank underground and they pump it all out to use it next Saturday. Especially if Saturday comes on the end of the month, on the last day, on the full moon, then you don't ever want to go near this place. Sometimes we used to go there and distribute prasadam and have kirtan, but it's a huge crowd on that time. And this is Sunny Dev, he's not actually bad, he just gives us your karma. Just like if you're a good person, you see a policeman, you don't feel anything. But if you're a thief, you see the police crime, you feel nervous. So everybody feels nervous about Sunny Dev. So there's a little Sunny Dev. There's a nice temple of Kokilavan Bihari. Very beautiful old temple there, very sweet little deity of Radha and Krishna. Very nice place. So from there, we wander on through the fields, just on little mud paths through the field. Oh, why Sunny Dev? Yeah. Why Sunny Dev is worshipped with mustard oil. So, interesting story is there. One time, Sunny Dev was thinking he wanted to, because he thinks he's very big and powerful. So he wanted to challenge Hanuman. And Hanuman was sitting and he's always with his eyes closed meditating on the lotus feet of Lord Ram. And Sunny Dev came there and challenged him in a fight, and Hanuman just ignored him. So then he began to bother him some more and said, come on, open up your eyes and let's have a fight, let's see who's stronger. And Hanuman opened his eyes and said, look, don't bother me, you'll be in trouble. I'm worshipping my Lord Ram, I'm deep in meditation, and don't bother me. He said, come on, you're just a chicken. So then Hanuman took his tail and he wrapped it around Sunny Dev. Then Sunny Dev was trapped and he was trying to get free from this tail. And Hanuman just made it tighter and tighter. Then he's a monkey, so he began to just bop him around like this. So many rocks were there and he's getting banged up. Then he began to cry. He said, let me go, you're stronger. So then Hanuman let him go. He said, but now my body's so sore. So then Hanuman took some mustard oil, he smeared it all over the wounds, and Sunny Dev felt very nice. So Sunny Dev likes to be worshipped with mustard oil. Another interesting story. One time, Sunny Dev and Lakshmi Ji were having an argument amongst all the Devi Devata, who's the best? And Sunny Dev was saying, I'm the best. And Lakshmi Ji was, I'm the best. So finally they couldn't come to a conclusion on their argument. So they went to see Nard Muni. So first Sunny Dev went in and he said, amongst all the Devi Devata, who's Shrest, who's the best? And Narad Muni said, you, Sunny Dev, you're the Shrest. You're the most powerful. So Sunny Dev came out and he told Lakshmi, you heard. Now Lakshmi said, wait. So she went inside to see Narad Muni. He said, oh, Narad, amongst all the Devi Teta, who's Shrest, who's the best? They say, you Lakshmi ji, of course, everyone is very much anxious for your favor, you're the best. So she came out and said, so you see, so then they both went in together. And you said that I'm the best, you said he's the best, you said she's the best. So then Narad Muni said, look, he said, Lakshmi ji, you come here, now you go back. Now Sunny Dev, you come here, and you go back. So they both took a couple of steps toward Narad Muni, went back. He said, Sunny Dev, when you're going, you're the best. And Lakshmi ji, when you're coming, you're the best. So now we wander through the fields and we come to a small village called Baitan, or Baten actually it's called Baten, almost like button, which comes from the word Betak. So we've heard about Betaks, this is where meetings are held. So this is one of the places in Braj where all the Nanda Baba with all the Brishbasis would hold meetings about Krishna and Balaram's welfare. And Bhakti Ratnakar tells a nice story because Sanatana Goswami used to wander through all the villages of Braj and he was very dear. He came to Baten and all the children playing on the edge of the village, they saw Sanatana Goswami coming again. So they all ran into the village. Oh, Baba Gosai is coming, Baba Gosai is coming, Baba Gosai is coming. So everyone ran to greet Sanatana Goswami. So those who were younger, they would bend down and touch his feet. Those who were same age, they would embrace him. Oh, my dear brother, why have you been away for so long? Those who were elders, they would pat him on the head. Oh, Lala, why you stayed away from so long? Then he would sit with all the villagers. And he knew everyone, he'd asked about everybody's welfare, what's happening with this. And they would tell him all the news of the village, so-and-so got a baby boy, so-and-so had fight with so-and-so, so-and-so built a new house. He would listen to all the village talk. Just like Jaganath Das Goswami, he has a prayer. He says, I don't want to go to Vaikuntha and enjoy the association of the Lord. I don't even want to enjoy the association of the pure devotees of the Lord. I will not take one footstep out of Braj, even if the Brishbasis fill my ears with all their nonsense talk. So in the evening, then he would have Hari Katha and Kirtan in all the villagers. And he would give them advice, and not just spiritual advice, but also material advice, that this season, this is the best crop to plant, you should plant it like this, for this disease, this is a... Even he gave them all types of things, but always in the evening there was Hari Katha and Kirtan. When he would try to leave, everybody would become so upset, they would beg and plead with him, so Sanatana Goswami would stay one more day and listen to all their things. And in the evening, Hari Katha and Kirtan. The next day he would go, and all the younger people would touch his feet. He said, oh Baba, don't go, don't go. Those who were equal, oh my dear friend, my dear brother, they would be, oh Lala, please don't go. They would follow him out the village. He would bring them all back to the village. He would again go, they would again follow along behind. With great difficulty, then he would go up to the next village.
Thank you very, very much, dear Dinabandhu Prabhu, for your kind time and such wonderful Nectarian Katha. I know you've promised me that you will also speak again with some more pastimes, so we're looking forward to that. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
We follow a winding path through the undergrowth to get darshan of the various footprints. The tranquility of this place affects our consciousness, and we can't help but hope that one day we can enter a deep meditation, bhajan. The place where we cross is called Kotpana, formerly Kotaravan. The Lord spent peaceful pastimes in this forest. The name Koshi comes from the word kosha. Koshi is said to have been where Nanda Maharaj kept his treasury. In October 1932, Abhay Charan Dey traveled from Allahabad to meet up with Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's Braj Mandala Parikrama at Koshi. Srila Prabhupada. So I met them in Koshi, and Keshav Maharaj was informing that Srila Bhaktisiddhanta is going to Mathura tomorrow morning, and he will speak Harikatha this evening. Anyone who wants to may remain, or otherwise they may go see Sheshashayi Vishnu. So at that time, I think only 10 or 12 men remained. Sridhar Swami Maharaj was one of them, and I thought it wise, what can I see at this Shayi? Let me hear what Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati will speak. Let me hear. Srila Prabhupada was listening with wonder. Sometimes he would not even understand something. But he would go on listening intently, submissively, his intelligence drinking in the words. He felt Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati revealing to him the direct vision of the spiritual world. Just as a person reveals something by opening a door or pushing aside a curtain. At his initiation ceremony in Allahabad, a little more than a month later, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, and was pleased by that, revealed that he had taken note of Abhay Charan's eagerness to hear. We should follow in Srila Prabhupada's footsteps and develop an ardent desire to hear. Finally, the white, angular dome of the Sheshayi temple appears, and as I look around, I see mostly relief on the other walkers' faces. I too am looking forward to resting my feet after such a long walk. Sheshayi is a peaceful village. Before our Braj Mandala Parikrama started coming here, its inhabitants had never seen Western devotees. Now the children expect us to visit during Kartik, and when we arrive, they run to greet us. They our kirtan party to Kshira Sagara Kund, the milk ocean in Braj. Looking out over the ocean of milk, which is non-different from the original milk ocean, we hear of the wonderful pastime that took place in its calm waters. The Bhakti Ratnakara describes that one day, Krishna transformed himself into Lord Narayan and lied down on Balaram, who became Ananta Shesha. Srimati Radharani then massaged Krishna's lotus feet. In this way, the Lord displayed his Vaikuntha mood in Braj. Srila Raghunath Das Goswami writes about,
although for her own happiness, she yearns to place Lord Krishna's handsome and delicate lotus feet on her breast. Srimati Radharani is still reluctant to do so, fearing that even though her body is delicate, Her breast may be hard. I pray that Lord Krishna, who also places his lotus feet on the hoods of Ananta Sesha, will permit me to live in his land of Braj. Moreover, the Chaitanya Charitamrita states that when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu visited Seshashahi and took darshan of Lakshmi Devi, he recited the following verse from the Srimad Bhagavatam, which was spoken by the gopis when Krishna left them during the Rasa Leela.
Yadte sujat charanam buruhamam staneshu bhitasane priya dadhimahi shu तेनाटवे मटसि तदा व्यथते न किं स्वे कुर्पादिभिर्भ्रमाति धीरभावद आयुषमं न.
Oh, dearly beloved, your lotus feet are so soft that we place them gently on our breasts, fearing that your feet will be hurt. Our life rests only in you. Our minds, therefore, are filled with anxiety that your tender feet might be wounded by pebbles as you roam about on the forest path. From the Bhakti Ratnakara, on seeing the beauty of Seshashayi, his ecstasy increased, and in that state of ecstatic love, overwhelmed. Those fortunate persons who saw the effulgence of the Lord also became maddened with ecstasy, and tears flowed from their eyes. They concluded that he could not be an ordinary human being, but must be Seshashayi Bhagavan himself in the dress of a sannyasi. While speaking, they looked continually on the moon-like face of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Sigor Nitai ki Jaya Nitai Chaitanya bole nache amar maan. Jaya Nitai Chaitanya bole nache amar maan. Nitai Chaitanya bole nache amar maan. Nache amar maan, nache amar maan. Nache amar maan, nache amar maan. Goya Nitai Chaitanya bole nache amar maan. दयाल तो नहीं है, दयाल तो नहीं है, मार के प्रेम दे, दयाल तो नहीं है, मार के प्रेम दे, दयाल तो नहीं है. করে অপরাধ দূরে যাবে, পাবে প্রেম ধর। দয়াল নিতাই চৈতন্য বলে রাখে আমার মন। দয়াল নিতাই চৈতন্য বলে রাখে আমার মন। নাচে আমার মন, নাচে আমার মন। নাচে আমার মন, নাচে আমার মন। দয়াল নিতাই চৈতন্য বলে রাখে আমার মন। দয়াল নিতাই চৈতন্য বলে রাখে আমার মন। বিচার বিচার তো নাই হে আমি अपराध, বিচার তো নাই হে। ও নামে अपराध, বিচার তো নাই হে। তখন কৃষ্ণ নামে রুচি হবে, রুচিবে বন্ধা। তখন কৃষ্ণ নামে রুচি হবে, রুচিবে বন্ধা। দয়াল নিতাই চৈতন্য বলে রাখে আমার মন। ও দয়াল নিতাই চৈতন্য বলে রাখে আমার মন। তো বলিয়ে নাচে আমার মন, নাচে আমার মন। নাচে আমার মন, নাচে আমার মন। দয়াল নিতাই আমার মন। দয়াল নিতাই চৈতন্য বলে রাখে আমার মন।
Ancient deities of Garbhodakshai Vishnu and Lakshmi Devi were discovered in Shirad Shagara Kund and installed in the temple here. Garbhodakshai Vishnu is one of the 3 Purusha avatars. The first Purusha avatar is Mahavishnu. He lies down on the causal ocean and is therefore known as Karanadakshai Vishnu.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you so much. That's another Shesha temple. That's another section. Maybe we can, that's on Monday. That's okay. Hare Krishna. Hare Bol.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam.
Okay, thank you so much. It's already 8:30, so I have another meeting to attend. So I would request everybody, please have your own Damodarashtaka and then continue that today. Yeah, it's okay.
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. So you have a meeting to attend as well. So it is so nice, so wonderful. It's this Vrindavan Parikrama. Lots of information. It's really, really, very wonderful creation. Really appreciate that. Very nice. Thank you so much. Let's chant together. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Vanchakalpadarupasya kripasya padidhanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo Namaha. Jai.
Jai.
Radha Damodar ji ki jai.
Jai.
Premanande Hari Hari.
Hari Hari Hari. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.